Hi all, welcome to BRR Knowledge Center. In this today's session, we'll talk about some of the features which got introduced in Visual Studio 22 IDE. So you know that this is the latest version of Visual Studio where you can create your .NET Core or .NET 6.0 latest framework version projects. And under this Visual Studio 22 version, you have different new features, and let's see what are all the new features we have in it. Visual Studio 222. I'll just go back here and describe you what are all the features we have here. And Microsoft now officially released this Visual Studio 22. I think in November 2021. So the primary focus on Visual Studio 2022 is a developer productivity and quality of life improvements. So there are five features we had in here in .NET Visual Studio 22, and if you can see those individually, and the first one was a 64-bit IDE. So this integrated development environment was in 64-bit, and the second one is .NET 6 framework supports. That means you can create projects using this latest framework version from this Visual Studio 22. And the third one is IntelliCode. Its intelligence was different, IntelliCode was different. So we'll describe more on this in coming sessions or coming part. And next one is hot reload. And the fifth one was finding files is faster. So these are some of the features which got introduced or enhanced. So I think finding files was there already in earlier versions also, but it was improved in 2022 version. When it comes to first point, that is 64-bit IDE. So the Visual Studio ships as a 64-bit applications, right? So you can see a considerable improvement in the project loading and execution time when compared to previous versions. So definitely you see difference while loading and running of your project because it has got improved or shipped to a 64-bit applications. And if you open any kind of or any size of a project or any complexity of project, so the following image from the Microsoft kind of uh, blog or any shows how fast Visual Studio, but this 64-bit IDE definitely showcase you the performance improvement. Suppose if you look at this my Visual Studio, if I wanted to open any application here, like to say location registration, it generally have the size in MBs. If you just open it, it will open in the seconds. So similar way, I think if you open it, large projects or complex projects, so it will open it in the faster way when it compares to previous versions. And also I think you see a better improvement on showing this UI as well, and that's how it is having benefit if you create a .NET project using Visual Studio 2022. And coming to the second point, as I mentioned, 6.0 .NET 6 supports. So this IDE supports .NET 6. That means you can create a project using this Visual Studio 2022, and that way you can choose our .NET framework version here. If you look at here, it is having different versions, including .NET 6 as well. This is the latest .NET version, and also you have previous versions 5.0, and also before that we have Core 1.0 to 3. and then rest of them are having a framework. Earlier version still 4.8 from 2.0. So finally, what I'm going to tell about this Visual Studio 2022 was it is supporting .NET 6.0, where you have different benefits in it that we'll discuss about this .NET Framework 6.0 features in coming sessions. But in this session, committed to only explain about you the IDE of Visual Studio 2022. So what are all the features we are additionally having it in Visual Studio IDE? Okay, and this is all about .NET 6 supports. And coming to the IntelliCode, as I told, IntelliCode was the one of the feature we have in Visual Studio 2022. Suppose if I add a clause here, something, I wanted to add a class saying that emp class, and when I say create, and when I say like start creating emp id, long emp id, so and then and I say like, if you look at here, it is how it is showing me a next root or property. It is suggesting to me add emp underscore name, because it tells me, or it reads the previous line of statement what I have written here, emp id, and then it understand me the context, and then it suggesting me to take this option or take this IntelliCode feature to add. So instead of typing all the lines of code here, just press tab, then that way it is adding it here. And also it tells about employee ID, right? And so, and also if you adding anything, like I wanted to add department name, and then it tells you something, and if I say again, it tells about department type. So this is all about IntelliCode, where it is reading my previous context and showcase the possibilities, the exactly matching possibilities. It is showcase here. It doesn't display you the irrelevant stuff. It only displays the relevant stuff only, and based on the previous context, it tells to choose the IntelliCode instead of no typing, or instead of no looking at alternatives. Just if you can press tab, then it is going to add automatically, right? So this is a very good feature we have, it most exciting and important feature in the latest versions of AI powered code completion. So it reads all previous context, and it understand and recognize the purpose, and it adds it tags the previous context and displays the possibilities. So artificially it understand the context and showcase the next lines of code, uh, easy no kind of pressing a tab. So this is what one of the more exciting feature we have. So this enables developers to complete code based on their code context, that is variable names or functions and the type of code they are writing. So this artificial intelligence will complete the whole line at once based on the code you written previously, right? And coming to the next one, so hard reloads. There's nothing but when you modify anything, so you need to close and build your project again. You run it. This what usually happens in earlier .NET Visual Studio or Visual Studio IDEs, right? This, but in the latest Visual Studio 2022, it is the feature given in the 2022. It enables users to speed up their development. It reduces the time to rebuild and deploy the application for every change made in the code. So this feature in 2022 has great updates, especially for Blazor and Azure editors. So even you can use this feature, hard reload, works even for the change made in the CSS files. Let me showcase you like how it is reflecting the immediate change on the UI. If I go and open my this sample Blazor application here, and if I run this my Blazor application, which was built in .NET 6.0, and it showcase displays the default layout here with built-in stuff here. I'm just pulling right side. So I have the tabs home. Click me some alert messages are given here, and here in the counter tab. So I'm just something, and this is the fetching. Fine. Now, and I go to my Visual Studio 2022, and this is where my CSS, right? I'm just putting this side by side here. That way you understand like how the immediate change was reflecting here. If you change this something here, and this is what red. See, this is red, and now you can see that it's immediately affected here, right? And even if you can change the background color, let's say like yellow, when I save it, it is immediately affecting in my UI, and green, it is affecting me. And even if you can change this as white, it is affecting immediately. That means it is very faster in affecting the change from Visual Studio 2022 IDE to a UI runtime, right? So red, I'll keep red again, and then change this to again block. Whatever change you wanted to give it, you give it, right? So this is how it is affecting this UI without closing this and again build and running. It will automatically reflects as like Angular and React components are working, progressive format. Like as soon as you change the immediate change, then it is immediately reflecting on the UI. That's how is .NET also working here using Visual Studio 2022. And coming to the next one was finding files is faster. This is an existing feature. It's not any new feature, but it was improved more. That means earlier, if you search a content in the file, I think if it is a complex project, it may take some time to find the word or string in the files of a solution or the entire document. But when it comes to Visual Studio 2022, and it is more faster than earlier versions. Suppose let me tell you, go back to the edit and find in place, find in files. When I say click me, it finds me very faster. And this feature you can try it out in complex projects. That way, I think you can identify the difference of this feature in the earlier versions and the latest versions. So if you have a complex project and if you wanted to search a particular string, it was more faster. So this was one of the feature allowed in the latest version. So that way you find a specific file in a project. The performance of this support has been significantly improved in this new version. It's a 3 times faster than the previous Visual Studio versions. That's what the statement I've given in the Microsoft block. That means 3 times faster than the earlier versions of Visual Studio IDE. So if you can find out any word in Visual Studio 2022, it is going to give you the result back in the 3 times of faster than the previous versions. So these are all about the new features of this .NET Visual Studio 2022, and I hope you enjoy listening this video. Please subscribe this channel for more videos on .NET technologies, and try to install and have fun with Visual Studio 2022. Thank you. Thanks for listening this video.